my chest first. Excerpt of my life, I call it my next verse. I'm stressed, keep it in perspective. I'm an expert about this Northwest way of life. Hey, it could end worse. Welcome in, everyone. This is episode number 8 of UpLeft State of Mind. This is the podcast where it's okay to not be okay. This is the show that unpacks the pressure, the pain, and the process, from mental health struggles to finding your identity, the healing process, and even ways that we can grow as individuals. There's no filter, there's no fluff. It's just raw conversations with people who are learning how to hold everything or how to let it all go. I'm your host, Rizzle, and whether you're tuned in from somewhere inside the beautiful Pacific Northwest or anywhere else, this is your safe space. It's a place to breathe, and it's a place to remember that it's okay to not be okay. Let's get into it. So first off, I like to do a self-check. If you've been here before, then you are familiar with that. I kind of just like to advocate for people to just check in with themselves every once in a while, see what's going on, see how you feel. It's a lot better to deal with your emotions when you can materialize them a little bit, and so what's up, Kenny Johnson? How you doing? Kenny Johnson says, what's up, guys? I haven't done the introduction yet, so Dustin can't talk yet, but no, I'm just joking. Yeah, it's really good to just kind of check in with yourself every once in a while. And so our last episode, I was feeling super stressed out about work, which is kind of normal. We're, a lot of things going on. I don't really need to go into the details of that stuff, but yeah, it kind of sucks time to time. Other than that, things are excellent. I had nothing to complain about. Everything is great. Yeah, that's about it. I don't want to keep our guest waiting too long. So this person is my wife's brother. We've been, I don't know, friends for, I've known him for a long time, back since high school probably, but yeah, just a good dude. He's been in my circle for a while. He's always had my back, and he's got a lot of cool stuff to talk about today. So I figured I'd bring him on, and we'll see what his journey can do for some other people too. So right now I'd like to bring on my guest, Dustin Blake.
Howdy, y'all.
Yes, sir. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Good. I'm glad to have you on here. So first off, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and like what you do?
So a little bit about myself. As most of you guys know, the ones that I do know that watch the show, I wasn't always the greatest person in life. I had battled with addiction for the good part of 20 years. Went to prison beginning of 22. And when I got out, I moved into an Oxford house, and it changed my life. I've been sober now 3.5 years. Clean dates April 15th, 2022. And since March, I got hired on at Oxford House, so now I get to do what I love and give back to the people that saved my life.
That's cool. That's awesome, man. So yeah, let me just tap into chat here real quick. Again, Brandy and Dave say, Riz, what's up, dude? Kenny Johnson says, dude, turn the oven off outside, homies. Yeah. So that's really cool, man. It's good to see you like just thriving and doing good, and I'm real happy to like bring you on here and like give you your flowers and have you talk about that stuff a little bit.
Thank you.
So what, I know some people don't always talk about their mental health, and it's kind of tough for people sometimes to even like just begin to talk about it. But what is your mental health journey like looked like throughout your life?
My mental health probably started when I was younger. Growing up wasn't always the best. Sorry, Mom, I love you. She was kind of an alcoholic growing up, and got a little hands-on sometimes. So I never felt like I was loved or wanted around, and it carried on over into school. I remember my grade school years were really tough. Having red hair growing up, I got bullied really bad for that. So depression started young. Um, and I think that's what kind of carried me on into living the life that I chose to live for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough to go through stuff as a kid and to not know like what to do with those feelings, you know, and it's and like yeah, like you said, sometimes like people carry that on to their adulthood. And Kenny Johnson was on talking about that stuff too, and he was talking about how he went in to talk to somebody as an adult, like a therapist, and found out that he's holding on to a lot of the stuff from his childhood. And but he's taken the steps to get that figured out, and like and he's learning new stuff about himself, like, you know. And so it's cool to see that aspect of it too, you know, that you can still heal from stuff, you know.
Yeah, I did a lot of my healing in my recovery. One of my goals is definitely I need to go see a therapist and talk about that and try to get over it the best I can because I still deal with depression on a weekly basis. And it sucks for sure. Like, I don't know how else to get over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And talking to someone is so it's so therapeutic. It's crazy. Like even sometimes after the podcast, like I'll feel like good just from like talking to people, you know, talking to someone. Like even like if I'm not getting a bunch of stuff out, like I'm having the person, my guest is talking about some things, and like it just feels good. I've done therapy with family members before, and it's yeah. Total advocate for people going in and talking to people on this show. It really does wonders. Kenny Johnson says, "I'm glad to see the change, Dustin." Actually, he says, "This ginger be sweltering." Then he says, "I'm glad to see the change, Dustin." And then he says, "I can relate with the redhead jokes, Dustin." Yeah, you know, I got 3 ginger kids running around, so they can relate. They can relate with it also. But no, it's tough. Bullying is no joke. You know, it sucks, and kids these days are well, I mean, kids always have been kind of ruthless, but it sucks with social media these days and stuff. You see in some of the shit that kids have to deal with, and it's
Yeah, we got lucky when I was getting bullied in school. I didn't have the whole social media aspect of it. So I only got it from one front. And now, yeah, like you were saying, kids nowadays get it at all fronts.
yeah.
Even when they try to isolate themselves, they still have to deal with it. So it's definitely a bummer. I think social media has ruined a lot of things. It's also a great thing for people to have too. You know what I mean? So gives people outlets like this to talk to and open up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a double-edged sword. I hate the and like the comparisons and stuff. Like kids see other people on social media and they're like, "Oh, look at his life," you know, or their life, like they have all these things, but social media is the top 1% of your life, you know, like you don't share the shit times all in between. So like people just kind of like kids think that others have it way better than they really do. So you know, if you have a chance to talk to your kids, just kind of tell them that too. Like it's not everything's as shiny as it is on social media. So
Definitely not.
you kind of talked about it a little bit, but kind of like the effects that your mental health had with your battle with addiction.
Um, yeah. So I think just growing up and not ever feeling like I was enough or people wanted me around. I could walk into a room of 50 people and not be seen. And I think that had a lot to do with why I started doing drugs to begin with. The party scene is what sunk me in because once I started drinking or smoking weed or later on doing the harder stuff, I felt more welcomed by the people that were doing it with me. So I think that had it boosted my what's the word? Uh boosted my spirits when I was in the same crowd of people, and I think that is what really drew me in.
Yeah, like you felt you felt like you belonged, and
Yeah.
And that's, and peer pressure is crazy too, because you see you see all the kids around you and they're doing this and that, and you're like, oh, I just want to fit in, I just want to, especially coming from somewhere where at home where you might not felt that, or like
Yeah.
kids as an only child. I can kind of relate with that too, where I was always by myself, and so like I wanted to fit in too, and you might kind of do some things that you wouldn't normally do to be accepted by others
Right.
and stuff.
Yeah, I definitely chose the wrong crowd to try to fit into. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it's tough too, especially as a kid, and you're so impressionable, and you don't know what, you're just looking for anything that you can grasp onto. Kenny Johnson says, I grew up normalizing addiction. I don't know about you, Dustin, so I thought it was cool until it took a hold of me.
I 100% thought it was cool. That's why I started doing it. And yeah, just like you're saying, it was so much fun until it wasn't.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of person, if I go into something, I'm gonna go full bore into it. So I took it to the most extreme.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's what a lot of us do. Like I'm I can relate to that. Definitely. I have a very addictive personality, but I think my panic disorder kind of stops me from actually like doing a lot of the things that I would go crazy on,
Yeah.
And so like I'm kind of like blessed to be cursed with the panic disorder, but
I wish I would have had a little bit of that.
man, yeah, it's tough to grow up normalizing certain things, and then try to separate that from once you get a little bit older, and then you kind of realize that it's not maybe the norm, but you're so used to it, and like so that's just kind of the way that you end up going.
Yeah, it was definitely something that I seen every day growing up. That was the crowd of people that we were associated with, and then I met the wrong friends, and that was just the lifestyle that was looked appealing to me.
Yeah. 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 And I mean, that's everyone looks like they're having fun, and, all that
Yeah.
stuff, and all the stories and this and that. But it's just, it's really not. Can you, I want to go, I want to talk about your triumphs and stuff, but I don't want to get into that quite yet. Can you take us into what, as much as you feel comfortable with, what rock bottom looked like for you? Like, what was that moment when you were like, wow, this is actually pretty fucked up? Like, I don't.
So that's really hard to put a finger on. I had a lot of rock bottoms, and I don't really know if there was ever like a solid ground that I finally hit, you know what I mean, to get me to that point. Um, so some of the major ones that really made me think of it, uh, like losing my kids. Um, my youngest son I haven't talked to for almost 5 years, and that was due to my lifestyle that I was living. So that was probably one of my biggest rock bottoms. And then catching that charge in early 2020, that really woke me up. I almost lost my life over that one. So uh, yeah, that was definitely an eye opener. It didn't fix my problem right away. I still had some research to do in the lifestyle, but
Right.
that one definitely opened my eyes. And yeah, and then I think my biggest rock bottom, um I even was sober during this one, it was still a rock bottom. So it was the day I got out of prison. I went to my mom's house, and my nephew came over, and we walked over to my sister's house, and she pretty much told me, "Get out of my house. I don't want you here." And my sister's been my closest friend and my best friend my whole life, and that one ate at me real hard.
That has to be so tough, you know.
And it was even tougher because in my mind, in the addict mind, and what I was doing, I went over there to be like, "Look at me, sis, I'm doing so good. I just got out of prison. I'm clean and sober." And she's like, "You haven't done anything. You sat in a jail cell for a year.
Yeah.
Like you did nothing."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit, that's real life."
um but that just made you want to like show her, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah, it switched a flipped the switch in my brain, and it was like I had to think like she's right. I haven't done anything. Like I haven't worked on myself. I haven't tried to be better. I got out of prison, was like, look at me, I'm awesome. So I'm the kind of person, if you say something, like I'm gonna prove it to you. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
It made me want to do better for myself and for the people that were around me that I actually cared about and loved.
Yeah. I Yeah, I mean, coming from my perspective too, and I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but it was tough to see all of that, you
Yeah.
know, and as close as we are, and we were before you went, like before you went to prison and stuff like that, like it was hard for me too to be like, I have to, because you're like you were my best friend, my brother, you know,
Yeah.
too. But and so I was like, I have to have her back on this because she's right, you know what I mean?
She was 100% right.
But then I'm like, oh man, like you know, like, hey bro, like but like it's cool to be able to see the progress that you've made, and everything that you've done. It's so cool, man.
Thank you.
Um,
It's been a rough road
yeah,
for sure.
yeah, yeah. What were there any times where you felt like hopeless, like where you've maybe felt like, man, this is it, like I don't know if I can even, I don't know if I don't know if there's a way out?
um yes, 100%. There was a couple times during the last like 5 years of my addiction, I 100% just felt stuck and there was nothing I could do. I was in and out of detoxes. I've tried treatment, ran from every single one of them. I definitely tried to end myself a couple different times.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Never successful, thank God. You know what I mean? Like, but I definitely tried plenty of times to be done.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever really talked about that much. Many people, uh, yeah,
That's a scary thing. It's scary. And not, I wanted to ask that, not to be like, like, hey, talk about something that if you have felt that way, talk about something you've never talked. But it's nice to, because like you said, you've never talked about it. I'm sure that there's so many people out there that don't talk about it, but that feel that way too. And so for you to be like, yeah, totally, like, and I've even, like, you even tried to, and so it's like, I hope that people can see that, and see that the the tough road, I don't want to say that's the easy way out, but like the tough road is sticking with it, and finding the path out of it, and so like it's cool that you are a testament to that, and we can sit here and be like, look, like this, you can make it through, like, and so that's cool. I'm glad I'm glad that you're here today to be able to show that to people.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely, it was. I think the leading up to the point was the easiest part of it all. You know what I mean? Because like it wasn't even like a second thought in my brain to like not want to do it. I was like,
Yeah.
there's nothing more for me here. Let's just fix this issue real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm super glad it didn't happen. Like it would have made life so much easier for me if it did. But I would have destroyed so many other lives. And that's the hardest part about it, and I think that's why I haven't talked about it very much,
Mm-hmm.
and especially to the people that are closest to me, because I didn't want them to know that I was that close. You know what I mean?
Right, right. I mean,
'Cause
yeah.
even telling them, they're like, really, like it's still gonna hurt a little bit. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So
Yeah, I've been there. I don't I don't condone self-harm at all, like in any form, but um I've seen people close to me go through it. I've gone through it personally myself, and um there's other ways to get those emotions and feelings out. So just talk to somebody if you guys are feeling like that. There's people to call, there's people to talk to. Reach out to me, message me. Even if you don't know, like if we're not close, we don't know each other, still just reach out to me. If I can't help you directly, I can find some resources for you to get some help. So that's a super important message that I want to make sure that I put out there.
yeah, and sometimes just talking to that stranger too is the best outlet. So you don't have to, because like in my experience, like I don't want to tell the people I love because it's gonna hurt them. So if you reach out to a stranger, then you can't really hurt their feelings. You know what I mean? As much as you can somebody that loves about you. So just make sure you talk to anybody.
Yeah.
It can literally be anybody.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a professional or anything like that. Yeah, there's always somebody out there to listen. Um, what was the where was the turning not the turning point? Where did you find the strength to get out of there? Where did you find the strength to like hit to move on from rock bottom?
Um, I think just being sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
That was a big one, and I'm stubborn. I'm super stubborn. And my sister telling me that one day, I think that really is what changed it, because even when I was in prison, uh I didn't have the mindset of getting out and doing better. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't. I took the easy way out and moved into my mom's little trailer with her, so I didn't have any responsibilities. Uh, so I think that, and um, I talked to my kid when I got out too. He's 17 now, and he pretty much told me, like, I don't know why you think you're my dad.
Yeah.
Like, you've never been there. And I'm like, oh, I get that. I get that. Like, and I've been out for 2.5 years now, and me and him are still building that relationship.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes down to it, I think just being sick and tired of being sick and tired. I lived that lifestyle for so long, and it never got me anywhere besides in my own depression and my thoughts and in my feelings, you know what I mean? And just the love that my sister showed me that day for being completely honest and telling me she didn't want me there, like that had a huge impact on it. So
Yeah. And that man, there's so many ways I could go from that. Like just to talk about her perspective from it too. From like a loved one watching a family member go through that. And like it's cool like that you basically, and I've had multiple guests talk about this, just leaning into your loved ones, and even if it was in an indirect way like that,
right.
like just finding your circle, like your support circle, that from the tough love that she showed, like that's enough that you were like, I'm gonna fucking,
Yeah.
she's still gonna be there for me, I just have to get there, and so like yeah, that's cool that you found that.
Yeah, I had to earn it back. I destroyed everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had to earn it back with a lot of people, but she was the one that made me want to earn it back. So that was a blessing.
um where does the discipline come from to stay committed?
Giving back. They say in A and AA all the time, you can't keep what you have unless you give it away. And I think that's what's really helped me. I have been super blessed in my recovery. I moved into an Oxford house, like almost, it was a couple weeks out of prison. I moved in there, and all my friends that I had in McMinnville, because I was born and raised here, all of them were alcoholics and addicts, and I had to not have any friends. You know what I mean? So when I moved into that house, that group of guys, it was 8 other guys in the house, not including me, and they all welcomed me in. I literally had the clothes that they gave me in prison, and a plastic bag full of spare clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they brought me in, gave me a bed, and hooked me up with clothes and filled my cupboards with food. You know what I mean? And that right there showed that giving back and being there for somebody that needs it is the road to recovery that I wanted.
Yeah. Okay. And that's cool because everyone's gonna have like a different road, I feel like, or a different process
Oh, 100%.
to getting through it. Yeah.
And it's probably an unpopular opinion, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm huge in the NA scene. I don't work steps and I don't have a sponsor. And there's a lot of people out there that like you have to do NA or AA or you're not going to make it. And that's just not the case. Recovery looks different for every single person out there, like wherever you can find it. I know people that hit the gym 7 days a week and that's their recovery, and if that's what does it for them and works for them, then we should support that no matter what. You know what I mean? Because it does 100% look different for every single person out there.
So what did that do for you mentally, be like, so just being, I mean, coming from rock bottom and then seeing and feeling that love and that acceptance and stuff, that had to feel fucking pretty cool.
It felt amazing, and it proved to me that it can work. That was the biggest thing, because I moved in the house and it was 8 guys from walks of life completely different. And they were the lowest of the low, just like me. And there was people in there. The guy, this older gentleman there, he was an alcoholic and he worked selling wine his whole life, and he had a huge retirement fund and like money, and it just goes to prove that it can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
And it just gave me that motivation to want to do it.
And that has to feel good too, just coming from, I mean, like the place you said you came from, like kind of as a child, where you like seeked that acceptance and stuff. So then like just coming out and having that happen and feeling all that, and you're like you just probably felt like yeah, like I'm gonna be able to fucking do this. Like
It made me feel like the same way it made me when I first started partying and stuff, and the acceptance that I got from that group. And then I got it from the whole other side of people that were trying to do the same thing that I am in life.
Yeah.
So
without the substance and
Yeah.
without all the bad thing, the negativity and that's so cool. I love that there's places like that for people. Because maybe that's just what somebody needed, you know, like maybe, and like that's and it worked fucking great for you, and that's so cool that I just really praise you for sticking to it. Can you take us through the process of like how you ended up? I mean, so you kind of talked about you got out and you just went right into the Oxford house, but what does that process look like from stepping foot into the house as somebody just fresh out of prison or whatever to like the position that you're in now?
uh the process. So when I moved into Oxford, I was obviously right out of the gate, you know what I mean? And I didn't have any of the life skills and all that stuff, you know what I mean? So I had to learn all those over and over again. And like, I didn't even know how to manage a checkbook.
Right.
And I got to learn that while I was there too. So that was cool. But I just pretty much dove headfirst into it. I had the most wonderful outreach worker. And she kind of seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. And slowly she pushed me to do the next right thing. And I remember sitting at a meeting, it's a chapter meeting, we were sitting there, and she knew I love food, and there was a position in the chapter that needed to be filled, and she said, somebody raised their hand that likes pizza. And I was like, oh, of course. You know what I mean? She's like, cool, that position's yours. I go, what?
Yeah.
And she kind of volunteered me to do it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So I stepped into it, and it was cool. I got to meet the other people in the chapter. I got to meet the people outside of the chapter in other Oxford houses out in Portland and Hillsborough and Beaverton. And they all accepted me, and they were all just like me. And I just kept moving from there. I held that position for 2 years, and I was working full time doing HVAC work, and I got laid off for a couple months. And the same outreach worker, she's the most amazing lady. She's like, hey, we're hiring. I go, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
And she goes, just put in an application. You're going to do great. I go, fine, whatever. So I
Okay.
put in the application, and they called me the next day. They're like, you got the job. I'm like, what? So
You're like, doing what?
Yeah, right. She said outreach. I go, what is outreach?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been the most blessed thing that I've ever done in my life. I get to help save lives just like those guys in that first Oxford house I moved into saved mine. You know what I mean? So it's amazing.
That's cool. So what is it exactly that you do?
So I do outreach. The biggest part of my job is to get back into the community with all the community partners around, all the rehabs. I'm in touch with all the probation officers in the town, the drug court, set up presentations, talk to them, and we get to help each other out. They send me clients that are looking for clean and sober living, and the clients that are in the house, I get to have the resources to help them out in any way that they need. And then I also get to go find houses and possibly open new houses for more addicts that need places to live, because there's never ever going to be enough for people like us that are needing and wanting the help.
Cool. That's awesome.
I tell people I got the most amazing job. I get to drive around, talk to people, and get paid. And
Yeah.
it's fabulous.
I think we have a question from Kenny Johnson. He says, can you tell the audience what's the process in an Oxford house like? Is there positions, blackout times, rules, like kind of like what goes into it if someone's like watching this that is kind of interested in it?
Oh, most definitely. So we have a website. It's called oxfordvacancies.com, and you can go on that website and look for the county that you're in or the county that you're trying to move to. We have 260 houses here in the state of Oregon. We're in 46 different states across the United States, and I think we're at like 4,800 houses, and we provide beds to 32,000 drug addicts and alcoholics.
That's crazy.
So you can go on that website and fill out an application, and it will get sent out to every single house in that the county that you're looking for. And then the houses will reach out to you, and we'll set up an interview, and you get to come over and meet the guys and see the house and go through an interview process. All Oxford houses are democratically ran, so you need 80% of the votes to be able to move in. Our only requirements to move in is to be able to pass a drug test and be able to pay your rent on time. And I know that's kind of difficult for some of us, so there is ways for us to work with you on that, because some of us just don't know how to do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So we definitely help you to get on your feet and to do better in life. There is a blackout period. It's your first 30 days. It's not a punishment. It's a way for the house to get to know who you are. We are behavioral based, so we get to learn your behaviors, what you do on a day-to-day basis. That way, later on down the road, because a relapse happens way before you pick up that first drug or drink, we can see it in your behaviors. So that's why we do the blackout period. It's just 30 days, and then it tells that you're not allowed to stay the night anywhere or have anybody over. And then during the week, you got like a 10 o'clock curfew to be home. So,
and that's just so that you can basically just learn who that person is 24 hours a day,
Right.
kind of thing. So
Yeah.
okay.
Because we want to get to know you, and we want to make sure that you get to know the guys in the house, and get to know the rules and how Oxford House works, and
kind of creates a baseline for this is for a person's behaviors, I guess.
Yeah, and we get to learn those behaviors. That way we can help you later on down the road. Because if you're not a person that sits in your room all day, and then 3 months down the road you start sitting in your room, I'm gonna know something's wrong with you,
right?
Or something's happening, and then I can pull you out and be like, hey bro, let's talk.
Yeah,
I want to know what's going on in your life, you know what I mean? And I want to be able to stop that relapse before it happens, because a lot of time all it takes is that one person to reach out and be like, what's going on? What can we do to help you?
Yeah, and then that may just be enough to be like, oh, okay, like maybe it's not fucking
right. And then that person also gets to see that you actually care about them.
Right. Just having people in your corner, just knowing that people are there to support you is huge.
Yeah.
Kenny Johnson is killing it in chat today. He says, do you have to go to so many meetings or anything?
So again, the recovery, like I said earlier, every single person has a recovery that looks different. So for us to say at Oxford House, you have to go to NA or AA, that would be wrong. Like, we can't force you into a recovery that doesn't look right to you. Again, we are democratically based. So there is houses out there that do require 3 meetings a week. You know what I mean? And when you do that interview process, they tell you about that. And if that house doesn't fit for you and you're not an NA or an AA person, then you obviously want to go look for a different house that runs on a different way. But so the whole meeting, we do require that you work a program of recovery. However that looks like for you, that is something that you have to do while living there. Yes.
So you have like, is that something that you like? The person would sit down and like work out like on paper, like this is my plan, or these are my steps, or this is what I'm gonna do, or
yeah. So we have a packet when you move in, and it kind of breaks down that kind of stuff. One of the pages in there is what do you do for your recovery, and what can we expect you to do for your recovery?
Okay.
And then that's kind of like the baseline we can hold them on, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then that way, if they don't really know, we can send them places, you know what I mean? Because everybody in the house is working a program recovery, so I can be like, hey bro, come and check out an NA meeting with me.
Plus you might not know, being someone like just fresh to trying to recover, like you might just not know like the step, or might not know like the options available to you.
Yeah. Especially if you're in a new town too, like you don't know anywhere that holds meetings or what kind of things. There's so many different ways of recovery now. We got NAAA, we got CA, we got Criminon. There's church. People love church when it comes to recovery, and I think that is amazing. Find your higher power and shoot for it.
Mm-hmm.
That helps for a lot of people. So
I had a question and I forgot. So every house has different rules and stuff, as far as not all Oxford houses are going to be the same. Like you can go into different ones, and they're like, this one, like you were saying, this one that you have to go to meetings 3 times a week or something. Okay, cool. So if you go to one and you're like, not really feeling this structure, like there might be another one that is more tailored towards your needs or wants. Okay.
There's a couple rules in every single Oxford house you have to obey by. The major one is don't return to drug use or alcohol. The second one is pay your EES on time. And when I say EES, it stands for equal expenses share. So that breaks it down. That covers your rent, all the utilities. It covers cleaning supplies. The house provides coffee. The only thing that you have to really provide for yourself is food, whatever you're going to eat and drink for the day or the week. You know what I mean? But that EES covers everything else in the house. So,
just makes it simple. You only have like one
exactly
one major bill or whatever as far as your living situation goes.
And then the last major rule is don't be aggressive and put hands on anybody. So
Okay. Is it common for people to go to a house like far away from where they live or something, like do you like distance themselves from where they came from, or
yeah, so a lot of people when they're getting into recovery, they like to go to a new place. I know it helps out a lot because especially like in McMinnville, it's a smaller town, you know what I mean? And I know everybody in this town that uses.
Mhm.
So I thought about moving out of McMinnville right away too, you know what I mean? But I had so many people that were holding me here that I couldn't go
Yeah.
away from. But yeah, we get people from out of state all the time that want to move over. So it definitely happens quite a bit.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Like some people might just need to, like the separation might need to be
Yeah.
like definitely be there. Um Cecilia says, when you used, how did it affect your mental health?
Oh, when I used, how did it affect my mental health? Uh, it made it tenfold. The depression and the loneliness and the low self esteem. It just made it so much worse. Dwelling on it, you know what I mean? Um, and I was kind of like a closet user too. So I sat in my feelings a lot. So it definitely made it a lot worse. And I think that's why um, I tried to end it a couple times because I was sitting in it. Um, and the drugs that I use kept me up for days and days on end. So it definitely spun my mind out of control a lot. The thoughts weren't always there. Um, it was very blurry at times, you know what I mean? So if anybody's ever stayed up even sober longer than a day, you know your mind is not there.
Yeah.
And it definitely triggers everything and shoots it into high gear.
And that's tough. I can imagine going into that because like you're like part of you's using to like have that escape from those feelings,
Yeah.
and then for it to like magnify them, like, and it's just, I feel like it would just be an endless cycle of like, this isn't working but it could work, so I'm gonna do more.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
100%.
yeah. Kenny Johnson says, how long did it take Dustin for family and friends to accept you back into their life?
Shoot, it took a long time for them to actually accept me and to realize that I wasn't going to go back to it. I think it took a couple years um, to actually be able to hang out with them and stuff. It wasn't very long. It was a couple months of them realizing that I wasn't still doing the same things and I was actually trying to get better. But for them to actually believe it and could 100% say that that's not me anymore. Um, it definitely took a long time. I honestly, to this day, don't even feel like my son is still fully there. And I've been clean and sober 3.5 years. So like, there's still relationships that I'm working on every day to mend. And some of them, you know what I mean? It's gonna take a long time or never.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that I feel like kind of just won't heal, but it's not, there's not ever, I don't feel like there's ever something that you would go through with a loved one that you wouldn't be able to like rebuild to a point,
Right.
and so like, yeah, it's encourage, I want to just encourage people that if you are in a situation where you are on the outside looking in from your loved ones, and just don't get discouraged. I mean, they, if they're holding you, if they're putting distance in between you and them, then but it means that they care and they love you, and
And
you
that should
just,
just be the proof right there that you need to do better and
right,
you need to try harder. You know
right.
what I mean? It's definitely not easy at all, and I struggle with it still to this day. Uh, to wake up in the morning and still try to do the next best thing. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm already here. You know what I mean? I'm fine. But that's not the case. Like I'm an addict, and I'm always going to be an addict for the rest of my life. And as long as I keep putting my foot forward and doing the next right thing, I'm gonna grow every day, and the people around me are gonna grow with me and see that, and all the relationships will mend. You know what I mean? So it's definitely worth it 100%, and it's hard and it's difficult and it's scary, and it's so fulfilling though. So
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of that's where a lot of struggle comes for people, is when you get stuck in that feeling of being just content.
yeah,
And you're just like, I need that, just the monotony of the same thing every day. And and then, like, you have to want to be better. I talked about that a little bit in the podcast too, about just how you need to try to be better every day, just in general, no matter what you're doing. Like, it's easy to just come home and sit in here and play Call of Duty or whatever, like I was talking about last episode, and just not do anything. But like, life's there for you to live. You just need to live it, and you need to have those experiences, whether they're going to be good or bad experiences. Like, life's there for you. And so, like, just being content is it's a doorway for things to open up, things that are not going to be in your best interest. So it's just the best thing that you can do, to just get out there and try to experience things the best
yeah.
you can.
And if I try to look at it on the bright side, you're going to have the good and the bad experiences with whatever you do. But if you look at it a little different, you're not going to have any bad experiences. You're going to have some learning experiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're all good experiences. So
Right.
it's just the way you handle it, and you look at it, and you take the criticism and whatever that bad decision was, as long as you learn from it and go on, it's not a bad decision.
Right. Like, it's yes. Like, you made the choice to be in recovery, and to take those steps to live that life. And so you're going to encounter tough times, you're going to encounter struggles and things like that, but those struggles wouldn't be there. Like, you chose those.
Yeah.
You chose that. And so you have to just be there you have to be committed to yourself, really.
Yeah.
And you have to build that trust in yourself. And that's super important when you're doing anything, really, is to just build that trust in yourself, especially in recovery. I got a few more questions here too. Kenny Johnson says it's a building process. It can be rebuilt. Yeah, I feel like everything can be rebuilt, and it's just like healing from trauma too. You might not always heal 100% of the way, but there's always a step forward, and something, you can rebuild that. He says it took him forever to rebuild, have family and friends and stuff accept him back in.
And especially in my situation, man, I did it for 20 years. That's a lot of rebuilding I got to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of things to reverse and show. And that's definitely not going to happen in a year's time. You know what I mean? Because you got 20 years. In my experience, I got 20 years of it to fix.
Yeah.
Like, they know I could do it for 20 years. So let's show them the other side for 20 years.
Right. I was just going to say, you just got to stay. You have to show that dedication and that, that willpower, that you're like, I can do. Yeah. Like you said, I can do this for 20 years too. Watch me. Cecilia asks, what's the toughest challenge in your recovery?
Man, that's a hard question. A lot of tough
ones. I was gonna say, it's not. It's probably. It's like, it's not probably easy. A lot of aspects of it.
They're all kind of tough. I think the toughest one is to stay out of my own head. When I get in there, it's not a good place for me to play.
For a lot of us.
Yeah. I've heard it from a couple different people. You know what I mean? My best decisions in life have got me exactly where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? Like, and those were my best decisions.
Right.
My best decisions landed me in prison. You know what I mean? Like, that. So I think that's probably the hardest one, is just to stay out of my own head. I do pretty good at that because I got blessed with the job I'm in, and I'm surrounded by people all the time. Like, I go home and there's a house full of people there, no matter what,
that are doing the same thing you're doing. Like,
So I'm I'm blessed when it comes to that, and I got some awesome people in my life that keep me out of that. So, but yeah, 100% getting in my own head and staying there. Like my thoughts don't do me very well.
It's tough.
Yeah. So I think that would definitely be the hardest one.
Yeah, good questions, guys. Kenny Johnson says I relate, bro. Sorry for the tough questions.
I love the tough questions.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It makes me think.
He says I have faith in you, brother. One shit storm to the next is my motto. That's life, man.
Yeah.
People helping people. Alexander J in the chat. What's up, buddy? He says, great conversation so far. As an addict, are there triggers still that make you feel like using? How do you get through it?
Triggers, yeah. The triggers have definitely gotten easier throughout the time. My biggest trigger is loneliness. And again, I got like the best job out there. I'm not ever really lonely.
Yeah. The idle hands.
Yeah,
you know?
the idle hands are horrible. Certain smells trigger me really bad.
Ooh, I get that with cigarettes, man.
Yeah, they trigger me super bad. And I got bring it back to that amazing outreach worker I have. She's been a rock in this whole situation, and I get to work with her, and I see her all the time. And I call her and I talk to her, and she is very upfront and honest, and she's got the same sarcastic tone and the way about it as I do. So that really helps me. I'm lucky I found her when I did. She helps me getting out of those. Yeah, I think really just the loneliness is the major trigger in my mind. So
yeah, and I feel like that's kind of anybody's kryptonite, really, is just having that time on your hands,
right?
And you got to fill it, and so what I have a few more questions here. Thanks chat for all the input. You guys are cool today. Sometimes I wish you would ask me more questions, but you guys are awesome today. What advice can you give to people that are living in sober life now to just try to encourage them to keep going?
Find that recovery path that works for you. That has been huge in my life. My recovery path, like I'm big into the NA scene, but I don't follow it to a T. You know what I mean? Like I've never done the sponsors. Actually, going back to me being stubborn, I got a sponsor one time, and he loves to tell people, do these steps or die. I go, bet.
Yeah.
So my stubbornness, I'm probably never going to pick up a step work book and do step work. So I got to prove them wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's my stubbornness. But find that program and find those couple special people that understand and have been there and done it, that you can count on and call whenever you need to, and they'll pick up the phone. There's always going to be a time in your life where your addict brain wants you to jump right back into it. So just stay strong and make sure you reach out to people. I think that's the best way to do this journey is using that mouthpiece and talking. You know what I mean? It definitely helps.
Yeah, I am, without like putting this person on blast, I right now am not a sponsor, because you don't have a sponsor for like a mental health crisis, but I am the person that someone can call if they are spiraling or something mentally, and they ask me if I could be that person. And it's super important to have people like that in your corner.
Yeah.
without hesitation, I said yes. And so now I've had my phone on silent for 20 years because I worked at the golf course, and and then it just became a thing. But I have my ringer on now.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, just if you need help, if you need someone in your life, like find that person. That's great advice. Find that person that you can reach out to.
And I found it easy to, not because your loved ones aren't going to be there for you and they, you know what I mean? They're going to care too much. I've found it in my personal experience to find that person that isn't a family member or super close to you. You know what I mean? Because then they're gonna want to try to fix the problem for you instead of teaching you how to fix that problem yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you rely on somebody to fix a problem for you every single time you have a problem, you're never gonna figure out how to do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I highly recommend finding that person outside of a spouse or a family member
Okay.
or a loved one. You know what I mean? Because they just care too much for you.
Okay.
And that might sound a little bad. You know what I mean?
No, it's good advice.
But it is loved ones and spouses. They want to fix problems for you instead of teaching you how and making you do it on your own.
That's really good advice. Kayla Coffee Studios, thank you for being here. She says, being open with your family and being true to what's going on is so helpful for getting the support you need to overcome. Yeah. And that's, I mean, honesty with family members and loved ones is basically like this should be the starting point for any situation. So many times I've kept everything inside to protect those close to me while feeling lonely is detrimental and counterintuitive. Yeah, it's never good to keep stuff inside. It might seem like it's the right thing to do, or you're just protecting people around you, or you're protecting yourself, but it's really just, like you said, it's detrimental. It's just tears you down when you keep that stuff inside. Even like he was saying earlier, if it's somebody that, even if you can't, you don't know how to tell the ones close to you right away, find somebody to talk to, and then maybe you can figure out a way to communicate the things that you need to.
There's so many resources out there nowadays for you to pick up a phone, and you can literally call somebody 24 hours a day. And if you don't have those resources, please reach out to me. I know Ryan can help you find those resources too, but it's my job to find resources and to get people in contact with those resources. So I am literally here for any and every single buddy that wants to talk. I can help you help yourself. I'm not going to do it for you, but I will stand by your side and push you in that direction to do it for yourself.
There you go. Kenny says, you guys, I'm like Chingy, I'm one call away. Okay, bro. okay, bro.
I laugh, but I have no clue what that means.
Chingy,
rapper or
yeah,
something?
he made had a song a long time. It was like one call away or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, that's crazy. So okay, I got a couple more quick ones for you. What is your proudest moment in life? I like to talk about the trauma, but then I like to talk about the triumphs and stuff too, because I like to raise people up and give them their flowers.
My proudest moment in life. Probably finally being a dad. Kind of weird to say, finally being a dad, you know what I mean? But my son's 17 years old and I haven't been to a dad to him at all for his whole life, but like since I got out of prison. And that just means so much to me. I know he can call me and he does, you know what I mean? And I get to spend time with them, and that's a really proud moment. And waking up every morning, you know what I mean? Like I get to wake up and not be an addict anymore, and not be a piece of shit and a low life and a thief. And I think every single day I wake up is a super proud moment for me. So yeah.
Yeah, I that's awesome. Having your kids like be a part of your life. I haven't always been the greatest dad also, and so like just getting that acceptance and that love, it's there's not a lot that you can like compare that to.
Right.
um
And I wasted so many years. And I know I've had it with them before, you know what I mean?
mhm.
But I was so deep into my addiction that it didn't matter.
Right.
Like I couldn't feel it.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it. I had people telling me, like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm there for him.
Yeah.
I love him. He's my
Yeah.
son."
Right.
And to be completely honest, like it wasn't.
Well, I mean, just the steps that you've made and the things that you're doing now. I mean, I don't know if you could be doing anything else more, as far as like just doing what you need to do, man. Um, how we talked about it, but can you talk about that website one more time? How can people like find help or the resources that they need for maybe to get into an Oxford house?
It is oxfordhousevacancies.com, and it'll bring you up to a website. Right on the first page, it will tell you to pick a state, and then right under it, it'll tell you to pick a county. You hit search, and that will pop up with every single men's and women's houses in that county. And then on there, you can fill out an application. It sends it out to the whole county, every single house that you're looking for. Um, and then they'll give you a call back. Or if you know somebody in the Oxford house, you can always talk to one of them, um, and set up an interview for that house.
I am really terrible at this, but I will remember to put that website in the description of the video when this video's done, so that if people need that link, then that link will be right in the YouTube description already too. So
Yeah, and if you want, you can put my phone number in that link too. I don't know if that's a thing. And anybody can ever reach out to me if you're trying to get into recovery, if you're trying to get into recovery housing, or if you just need somebody to say, "Hey, what can I do?"
okay, cool. And then so I like to advocate for men's mental health. Well, no, not just men's mental health, but just mental health in general, awareness of it, and trying to make everyone's mental health a little bit better. What would you say you advocate for?
I advocate for recovery, getting your life back, and I'm a huge advocate on Oxford House. Um, I think it is one of the most amazing places you can go if you're trying to get either getting into recovery, or you're trying to get back on your feet from all the things that you messed up in your life and you don't know where to go. Um, we are huge, and it's there's going to be people there that you find that are just like you. And I know that's one of the biggest things coming into recovery and stuff like that is you feel like you're different than everybody else, but you're not. There are so many people out there that have lived the life you lived and walked in the same steps and done the same things, and it is definitely possible. Um, yeah, and recovery is huge. Uh, find it if you need. It might take a while. It took me a long time, but if you just keep going for it, you will succeed.
Yep. I'm a firm believer in that for sure. There's a little piece of paper on my monitor up there that says there's no shortcuts to any place worth going.
Yeah.
And it's funnily enough, I got it out of a pack of joints.
Nice.
But but I mean, hey, you find your motivation where you can find it, right?
Yeah.
But that stuck with me, and it really, like, that's true. There's no shortcuts to anything, recovery, anything that we're talking about.
Yeah. Especially if it's worth it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yep. Like, just find something that you're passionate about and that you want to succeed in, that you feel, and just go for it. Whether that be, and if you need help, reach. Yeah, that fly has been driving me crazy. It's been driving me crazy. Well, I think that's about all I got as far as questions for you. Is there anything else you want to leave with the viewers before we get out of here?
Just try every day. Any path that you walk down is going to be a struggle. It just depends on what kind of struggle you want in your life. You can struggle every day to be better, or struggle every day and stay in the same spot. You know what I mean? Just don't ever give up and keep trying. There is more people out there just like you than you could ever imagine, and finding them and surrounding yourself with them is going to be one of the best decisions you've ever made.
There it is. Well, with that, bro, thanks for coming on today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
It was really, really a great conversation. Thank you to everybody that has been here in chat and everybody that has watched this video. If you guys can hit the thumbs up for me and tell a friend about the show. Tell a friend about the podcast. Make sure you guys share it. We are so close to 400 subscribers. Once we get to 400, guess what's next? 500. And then guess what? Then we can start getting monetized. So let's get the subs up. You guys have been doing great. We're killing it. This community is awesome. I'm going to build a Discord out here in probably a month or two. And that'll give you guys a place, a centralized place where you guys can talk to each other and where we can have episodes and, you know, questions about episodes and stuff like that afterwards. And, yeah, nothing but looking forward for this podcast. So I appreciate all you guys. People helping people. Great show, gentlemen. Alexander J, thank you so much for being here, everyone. And we will see you guys next time.
Before I lay me down, let's get this off my chest first. Excerpt of my life, I call it my next verse. I'm stressed, keep it in perspective, I'm an expert about this Northwest way of life, hey, it could end worse.